بالروح بالدم نفديك يا أقصى. Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is your Arabic teacher Sam and a very warm welcome to episode, what are we on now? Episode 8, goodness gracious me, of this little phrase we're doing. It is a little phrase we're doing today actually, but little series that we've been doing on the YouTube channel, the podcast, everywhere really, where we just go over a new phrase. We're doing it every Monday and every Saturday, but the podcast is coming back soon, the Arabic with Sam podcast, and that'll be on Mondays as that usually is, so we'll maybe move this to... I'll let you guys decide. We'll carry on doing one on Saturday, and maybe we'll move the other episode to like a Wednesday or something like that. But what day would you guys like it? That's obviously important. So what is this phrase? So this phrase, بالروح بالدم نفديك يا أقصى, is very Palestinian. I've never heard this kind of expression used in any other Arab country, and it's kind of it is nationalistic. But it's also a bit beyond that. So let's go through it kind of one word at a time, and so we kind of come to understand it, and then we'll maybe talk a bit more about its context afterwards. So what does it mean? So بالروحي. So this bi at the beginning, this is a nice little harf jar, little preposition, and it's best translated as by, in my opinion. Sometimes gets translated as with, but and it is with sometimes, but I think by is maybe the better translation. When we hear this bi at the beginning of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, really it translates better as by the name of Allah. It doesn't really mean in, like in English when we say in the name of God. It's in is a strange preposition for us to use here because in it's not inside of anything, is it? We're not talking about anything in like inside of the name of God. We're talking in the name. We're talking like by His name. But anyway, so by what? Ar-ruh, by the soul. By the soul, or by the spirit, perhaps is better. So for soul specifically, nafs is probably better. The plural anfus, if you're talking about souls, or nufus actually rather, if you're talking about souls. It has two different plurals to be like a, so there's two plurals for the word nafs, nafsun, meaning a self, or a soul. It can be anfus or nufus. But this is the word ruh, which I think is probably better translated as spirit. So with the spirit, and really by extension, it's kind of, this is something that's chanted by crowds normally. It is sometimes heard in songs and poetry and stuff too, but the connotation of a group of people shouting "Birruh," like by the soul or by the spirit, is kind of by extension. It means with our souls or with our spirits. So birruh. What next? Bidem. So a dem is blood. Yeah, there's no other translation for that. There's nothing more to say about that. So by our souls and by our blood, or by the soul and by the blood. Biruh, bidem. And then we have a verb. Nafdika. It's really the verb is fada yafdi. Fada in the past tense, yafdi in the fi'l mudari', and it's nafdika. This na at the beginning is for we, hence nahnu, we. Nafdi, ماذا? Nafdika. We do nafdi to you. So what is this verb fada? It means, this phrase gets translated as to defend, but there's better verbs for defend, like the verb dafa'a perhaps. The word difa' is the word for the defense, like in football. You say difa' for the defense in football. But I think this verb probably translates better as to redeem. Nafdika, we will redeem you. We will defend you, we will redeem you, or something like that, So to what? Yeah, we use this in Arabic. It's a harf nida, I think you call it in Arabic, where you kind of are using it as like a vocative. You're evoking something, and it is the way in Arabic that we tell that you're speaking to someone in the second person. You're directly addressing someone when you say yeah, like really in like classical Arabic. If you were to just say Muhammad, just say Muhammad. You're talking really about Muhammad in the third person. You're talking about a Muhammad who's not present. But if you say Ya Muhammad, that means you're directly addressing a Muhammad. So this ya, and then what is this phrase addressing? Aqsa, Ya Aqsa, and it really means al-Masjid al-Aqsa is what it is really talking about. It's talking about al-Aqsa mosque, al-Aqsa mosque. It's important to know what al-Masjid al-Aqsa is. because it often gets confused with قبة الصخرة. The قبة الصخرة, or the Dome of the Rock, is the one with the gold dome on top, right? That's the Dome of the Rock, and the other one, the big grey rectangle one, is al-Masjid al-Aqsa. Quite often when we see things about Masjid al-Aqsa in the news, they show us the wrong picture. They're both important. They're both really important places, but yeah, they're not the same thing. They're in one big courtyard. It's a beautiful place. Like if you ever get even a slither of an opportunity to go there, you really should. Like there's a brother from my university who I lived with when I was in Palestine, and we had the opportunity to go there like 4 times, I think, 4 separate visits or 3 separate visits, and like because of the situation out there, you kind of you feel like you'll only ever get one chance to go there. Like, the Israeli military are kind of the amount you go there, the more suspicious of you they are. So you're more and more likely to not be let in, into Palestine generally, but then especially into the courtyard of Al Masjid al-Aqsa. And we had the opportunity to go there like 3 or 4 times, but because you think every time you leave you're never going to see it again, when you do get a chance to see it again, it's a really beautiful and an emotional experience. But so if you ever do get the chance to go there, then you should. So so this phrase actually isn't only used for that. I mean, it's you hear in songs and in poetry and stuff as well. بالروح بدم نفديك يا, and it can be used with other things as well. But it usually has kind of a nationalistic or a religious connotation to it. So that's the phrase. The context in which I heard it was at a clash rather, on a Friday, in the courtyard of Al Masjid al-Aqsa, and I talk more about that. I have an episode of my podcast where I talk about my experience studying Arabic in Palestine. And if you're interested in that, go and check it out. I can't remember what number episode it is, but if you just scroll through the episodes, it was relatively recent, like in the past month or two, where I did a whole episode on it. So if you want to know more about studying Arabic in Palestine, then go over and check out that episode, inshallah. So that's everything for this episode. There's only how many words in that? 5 words. So there's not too much grammar really for us to break down, but but that's it. In the next episode, in episode 9 of Arabic Phrase of the Day, we're taking a little snippet from a hadith, actually. It's not the complete hadith, but we're going to be reading through a part of a hadith. It's a hadith about kind of hard work and striving for what's important. And the bit that we're going to analyse is احرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله ولا تعجز, or ولا تعجز. There are narrations for both of those, but we'll go through ولا تعجز. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next episode. It'd be nice to have a bit of variety. We're going to have some tongue twisters. We're going to do some bits from hadith. We're going to do some little bits from Quran, some little bits from poetry, some like just general day-to-day phrases for dialogues and for your conversational Arabic too. So we'll have a nice variety in this series, inshallah. So if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, please don't forget to like and share it with other people who might benefit from it too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done already. That'd be nice for us to try to get up to 7,000 subscribers. Is what we're aiming for now, because we're really close, thanks to you guys. So see you guys in episode 9 of Arabic Phrase of the Day. Have a great day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.